All right, here we go. Monday night. The fill-ins, the old guys, DC and the Sunshine Man doing the Smarter Than You podcast. So I think Dave's equipped to do this. I think he's smarter than most of us. Right, Dave?
Possible. Depends. No, I wasn't today.
Now what happened?
Well, let's see. I had a losing day, which I haven't had many of those lately, but I did have one today. And today was also the day I met with the accountant to pay the 2020 taxes. So.
Oh, boy.
Oh, well.
Was that all right?
Well, I've had better days.
Yes. Yeah.
But, if you pay it, it means you're making. So.
Exactly. So everyone watching, what's going on? You got some comments. We're going to talk some baseball tonight. A little bit of NHL. A little bit. So what's going on with you, Dave? What's going on the first couple of weeks here of baseball season?
It's been good. Really good. 18-7 with the loss tonight. And I don't play big favorites, so the ROI has been really good. Really good. I'm very happy.
Good.
But that's done. So got to keep it going tomorrow. That's all.
You on anything in particular that you're doing right?
My process is pretty extensive. So it's a few hours every day, and I haven't finished up with tomorrow yet. But what I like to work with is working for the most part, which is focusing on starting pitchers, betting mostly first fives. I don't bet full games anymore, except in rare circumstances. Don't trust bullpens. What does the process look like? It's a lot of a lot of this. Okay, I still do everything longhand.
No way, really?
Yep.
How come?
Do it because that's the way I get a better feel for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take what I'm looking for off a screen, write it down in the columns that I keep, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 columns plus notes. So there's a lot of work. The winners don't just appear magically.
RJJ says that he was on the Giants and the Mariners tonight.
Giants did well. They went 2-0. And the Mariners actually won a game against the Dodgers. Dodgers lost a game. That's news.
Why are the Giants and Mariners doing better than we expected? Or maybe you expected it.
No, I can't say I did. Well, let's see. The Giants, let me look at what I've got here. The Giants are doing it with mirrors. Okay, their offense stinks.
I love that
their offense absolutely stinks.
But I love that you look down at the sheet and you're like,
well,
yeah, that's not working. It's all mirrors. Yeah, because their offense is terrible.
WRC plus is 82.
What is that?
That's probably the best metric there is for offense.
Okay.
And 100 is average. They're 82. They're 71 over the past 7 days.
Oh boy.
So you better be getting some great pitching if you want to win games, and it's tough to get pitching like that all year long. As for Seattle, they're just a little ahead of schedule, I think, and might be a little better than people thought. They can hit the ball a little bit. Haniger's really looked good, being healthy again. Ty France is more a DH than a position player, but they can stick him in a variety of positions and then get him out of there in late innings if they have to. But he can hit a little bit, and they've done it without Kyle Lewis, who's a very talented young guy. So there's some reason for some excitement in Seattle.
What's the Seattle number for the offense? Because they seem to be doing it with some smoke and mirrors on offense too.
A little above average.
Yeah, a little above average.
A little above average so far for the 3 weeks, and actually 106 for the last 7 days. So they've been hit. And look, Haniger's a weapon in that leadoff spot. He had one of the nastiest injuries that you'd ever want to have, and then followed it up with another injury. And the fact he's come back this strong is really impressive. Good player.
Their bullpen's actually been pretty decent.
It hasn't been bad. Montero, who's a guy who kind of bounced around, picked up another save tonight. He's got 3. They're doing okay. Whether it continues or not, I don't know. But their record to date isn't fluky. They've actually, in other words, they've earned these wins. They've been legitimate wins. And somebody mentioned Lewis is due back tomorrow, and that is another plus for them. What they got tomorrow? Gonzalez has not pitched well out of the gate this year, so he'll have to be better tomorrow against the Dodgers because that lineup is fearsome.
Dodgers are 200 on the road.
Yeah. Dodgers are going to be 200 against everybody.
Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, they're one of the best teams I've ever seen. And and even without Bellinger, they're still tremendous.
What's his deal right now, health-wise? How long is he going to be?
He's going to be out for a while.
Wow.
I don't have a timetable, but he's on the IL and he's not coming back anytime real soon.
Dustin May started tonight.
Yep. I haven't gone through the game yet. So. Yeah, he wasn't great. But, they lost by a run. So now they've got, 3 losses on the season? Or is it 4?
They are, they slid to 13-4.
Ooh.
How much longer? Maybe this is the plan. What are they going to do with David Price?
Oh, he's going to stay in the bullpen, I think.
You think he's just going to be a long man?
No, I think he's going to probably be a primary setup guy, and we'll get some closes as well. Yeah. And he threw the ball really well against the Padres. I think he had some rust in his first couple appearances, but I mean, he was dealing in the game against San Diego, and that's a good sign for them. And he's been a good bullpen pitcher.
Brady says, have you ever tried a computer, didn't like it, just sticking to what has worked? Which one is it?
It's not a no. I mean, I use a computer.
Yeah,
but I like to write the stuff down longhand. It's what works for me.
Well, no one's mad. They're trying to find out. They're trying to find the process.
Oh.
We all want to win. Maybe I need to start handwriting everything.
I just get a better feel for it that way.
Yeah.
Or at least in my mind, I get a better feel for it that way, which is really all that counts.
And you don't look at the next day's baseball until what, tonight? Like 11:30 after this?
No, I do preliminary work on the starting pitchers because
right.
I know who they're going to be. And then I start getting into tonight's action and moving that forward.
Looking at the board tomorrow, Yankees are minus 126 with Tyon against the Braves and Morton. And what is wrong with the Yankees?
A lot. They're not hitting at all.
Right.
They're just not hitting at all. And I think I mentioned this. I don't know whether it was with you but I've mentioned this a few times. They missed Tanaka. Okay, Tanaka he wasn't a number 1 starter anymore, but that's a guy who still filled a real big role in the middle of the rotation. And they don't have a replacement for him. I think they'll be okay. The offense should start hitting, but right now they're pressing and they're kind of messed up. Atlanta, by the way, you got to check the lineups tomorrow as to whether Acuna will be available or not, because he did leave the game on Sunday. Looked like it might be some kind of an oblique issue. So that's one where I wouldn't be getting involved until I know his status, because that guy's has been insane.
What is the hope for the Yankees in terms of the pitching staff?
That Tyon, as he gets back into things, starts throwing it well. They need consistency out of the back end. Montgomery, who's been a pretty good home pitcher, but has not pitched well on the road. Bullpen should be fine, but you got to get to the pen.
Yep.
But it's early. You don't with a lineup that strong, you don't just put an X through them in April. They're going to be okay. I think the interesting team, and I'm not saying this because I'm a fan, but the Red Sox are really interesting right now.
Why?
Because, well, for one thing, they've got the kind of lineup Alex Cora likes because he's got guys he can move all over the place. Marwin Gonzalez, Kike Hernandez, these are super utility guys, and he can bounce them all over the place in the lineup. And I think it's pretty clear that the players love to play for Cora. I mean, that was a dead baseball team last year, as dead as it gets from the neck up. They didn't give a shit at all. And mailed it in last year.
How can that be? How can a manager make that much of a difference?
I don't know. Never having been a big league player, I can't say. But it's clear that he's a guy who gets the most out of his talent in terms of effort. They bust their hump for him. And that's an excited dugout right now. They're playing real good ball. And they are, and it's not going to hurt them any that they beat the crap out of Giolito today. I mean, that's a really good pitcher, and they made him look like a rank amateur. He didn't have his best stuff. I mean, he was not commanding his off-speed pitches and left a couple of them right in the happy zone, and they smoked it. But you make a mistake against them right now, and they're going to kill you. Tough game tomorrow, though. Ryu's on the mound, and he's good. He's a really solid guy. So their offense will have their work cut out for them tomorrow. That could be a good matchup. Eduardo Rodriguez for the Red Sox and Ryu for the Blue Jays.
And they put 11 up against the White Sox.
Yeah, they got 7 of them right away.
And Giolito without Bogarts in the lineup.
Yeah, he got a day off.
Jesus Christ. Well, maybe they're going to be one of the surprises. Anyone else surprising you early on that you think has staying power? Red.
Everybody's in it.
Yeah.
The Reds are interesting. I mean, if their pitching is good, their offense is going to be pretty good. By the way, Castellanos got his appeal was denied, so he'll have to sit for 2 games. So he will be missing tomorrow and the next day, I would assume, and that is a hit in their lineup. But no, the Reds they're a very cocky bunch, which is not a bad thing.
What about the Twins? Brady's asking about the Twins.
I don't know.
6-8 so far.
I don't know.
Kind of tough to get any consistency when it seems like so many games have been canceled.
Yep, and they need to get something out of the bottom there. Excuse me, the bottom of their order has been horrendous so far. Sano's just an absolute slug. And they got a couple of other guys that just can't hit. And right now, it's basically Cruz, Buxton, and Arias. That's pretty much it. You need more than 3 guys hitting. And the bullpen might not be good. But that division right now looks like it's really interesting. The Indians can pitch like crazy. They can't hit. The White Sox just haven't put it together yet. Their bullpen's been a disappointment. And the two teams at the bottom, Royals, not too bad. Yeah. And the Tigers at least showing some signs of life.
What do you think of the Cardinals so far?
Well, there's the comment, and that's the problem. And even Flaherty's been, we'll say, spotty. He really didn't have good stuff tonight. He got by with it. But he had a couple of nice breaks in the game early on. Schwarber hit a ball 111 miles an hour right at the first baseman. I mean, it's just one of those things. And the offense took off a little bit tonight. But their starting pitching beyond Flaherty has been really bad. And I don't know if it's going to get better.
Is Carlos Martinez miscast?
I think he's just done.
Done?
Yeah.
How's that possible? He's 29 years old.
Max effort pitcher most of his career, and he doesn't look like he has the stuff he used to have.
Yeah, he is.
He had one good start, and he's been just destroyed since then. He wants to start. He doesn't like coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah. You're not saying he can't be a reliever again, right?
I'm not sure. He just doesn't. He's not commanding his pitches. just because he's 29, that sounds young, but got a lot of innings on that arm, and he's had some injury issues, and he just might not be very good anymore.
Well, that sucks. Sucks for Cardinals fans.
Well, they have to develop some other starting pitching. That division is not real good right now because the Cubs aren't much of a team. Pirates, well, the Brewers can't hit. That offense should get better as time goes on, and their starting pitching is phenomenal. So the Brewers, I think, are the team to beat in that division because of the pitching. Burns is just lethal. Woodruff's very good. Peralta looks good. Looks like he's got 2 pitches now. They're going to be tough. And when they get Yelich back healthy and Kane back healthy, the offense will start to pick up a little bit. So I think they're the team to beat in that division.
How you doing in fantasy so far?
Okay. I haven't checked the standings, but
yeah, it's early.
Among the contenders.
The Pirates are not very good. Well, they're 7-9, but
is there a triple? No. The Pirates will be favored over every AAA team.
Come on, Brady. You're better than that.
Don't ask silly questions. Well, it is. They're AAA. Okay.
I love it.
Don't pretend the Pirates are a AAA team.
Right.
Because they're going to win. Even a bad Pirates team, if they're really bad, they'll win about 60 Major League Baseball games. So.
Nice. So what'd you moving on?
It's basically like asking, can Alabama beat the Jets? No. Okay, they can't.
No. And we do it every year. Every year we do it. It's stupid. Moving on to a little college basketball tonight. I
see Gonzaga signed the number 1 recruit.
Well, we were telling people a couple of weeks ago, it wasn't like some big secret, but yeah, Chet Holmgren, number 1 player in the country. Debatable, but, whatever, top 10 player. He signed. They already got another top 10 player. They're going to have a good core back outside of Suggs. Yeah, they'll be fine. And I love the Brady line here is funny. Good to see the little guys finally have success. Well, Gonzaga's not going anywhere. They've established themselves. They're out on the recruiting trail. They recruit the same way that all the other big boys do. They do it is necessary to get players, and they're not going anywhere. So they're going to be here for a while.
They're the franchise in Spokane. They don't have to worry about competition from anybody else. They are the item there. They are very much like UNLV was in the glory days of the Rebels. They can recruit anybody. Everybody wants to go there. When you go there, you're going to get a ton of national publicity because Gonzaga is a national item. A lot of games on TV. And you're going to be in the NCAA tournament every year. What's not to like? It's like the Rebels were 30 years ago. And that's one of the nice things about being the franchise in a good-sized city. Because Spokane's, it's a good-sized city. It's not a small town. But there's no other major league team in the city. There are in the state, but not in the city. And that's big.
So you want to watch some highlights of the kid?
Sure.
Which I don't think are going to come off great. Like this, I don't know what this is, but I thought the talent didn't look great in this one. But anyway, he's 7 foot. He's real skinny. He's about 190 pounds, but he's got small forward skills, which will go well with Timmy. Maybe not the best thing for Julian Strother, which I think is really interesting. The Vegas kid. He continues to get recruited over. He's got 3 years of eligibility left. I wonder how much longer he's going to stick it out. But you'll see the kid in the middle of the floor. And see if you notice a certain trait about the way he
Here's Holmgren. All the way for a man's jam. Chet Holmgren throws it down. Bates to miss that. Holmgren working on Bates here. Decides to take it coast to coast.
Great dexterity around the rim. It's a wrong-footed left-handed layup, too. I mean, that's in the future. There is no such thing as certainty. If there was, we'd never be wrong. But I'll tell you what, he's got all the markers you look for, as I was saying.
Right on cue, Holmgren hammers it home.
Other areas is in the mid-range game. You've seen the floaters.
Nice move.
I love the pull-up game too.
Holmgren back the other way. Takes it up the floor himself. Check out Chet Holmgren, coast to coast again.
Relax is one thing.
Fast.
He changes.
Transition three.
Hey, he runs the floor like a guard.
Here's a big possession.
Holmgren on Bates between
Pretty
the
cool
legs.
shoes, too.
Rim on a rack attack. Chet Holmgren one-on-one.
He also talks a lot of shit.
Why not? If you got it, flaunt it, right?
Yeah, he's a funny kid. But yeah, he's gonna be a good player. Maybe they can keep him there for a couple of years, but he'll be a nice player with an experienced squad. And I'm sure if Hugh needs any holes filled with transfers, he'll go out and get someone. So, and I think we talked about in the past, they're gonna have a loaded schedule. I hope they schedule a couple of big boys. They try to squeeze them in February. A couple games here and there, but they are going to play Duke at the Fortress at T-Mobile. I think it's on November 26th. So that'll be here in Vegas, Duke and Gonzaga.
That's not too bad, huh? Well,
Yeah.
we know Gonzaga's the favorite in the game.
Yeah. It'll be, we'll see how Duke starts off. Although it's right at the beginning of the season, so I don't know what. I don't think Duke's going to be favored in that one. Duke's going to be super young. Talented, but young. So did you see the other story from college basketball the last day or so about Brad Stevens in Indiana?
Yeah, I guess they offered him basically the entire state of Indiana's budget.
They offered him $70 million for 7 years, and they
said,
still turned it down.
Nope.
So how do you read that? Like, what's your reaction to that?
I read it that he likes staying. He likes the NBA,
Right.
and wants to stay there. And why not? It is the NBA. I mean, no knock on college basketball, but it's still the NBA. That's the ultimate.
This is gonna sound crazy, but if Indiana really wanted him, should they have offered him more?
I don't know that it. Well, I guess you can
10
keep
million
offering
years,
him.
crazy. But like, is there a number where he would actually take it?
I have no idea because I don't know Brad Stevens.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's possible, I suppose, that you could reach a point where it's like, okay, I have to take it. We know that can happen because it happened with Lon Kruger.
Right.
I mean, he turned Oklahoma down like a whole bunch of times, and they just kept coming back with more money. And it's like, well, all right, if you insist. So I suppose there's some figure at some point that Stevens might have said, oh, well, okay. But I mean, if you turn down that amount, it kind of sounds like, I like the NBA. I don't want to coach college. And in many ways, it's, the NBA is a bigger challenge, obviously.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, look, college, it's more than just coaching. I mean, you got to go out there and recruit, do all that stuff. And the compliance is a complete pain in the ass. I think there's some really good coaches like, the hell with that. Not interested. No, thanks. I got plenty of money anyway. What do I want that? I just want to do basketball. And in the NBA, that's basically what you do.
You went exactly where I was going to ask you about. Is it an indictment on Indiana as a program, or is it more college basketball that it's getting tougher and tougher to coach at the collegiate level? Not only do you have to play all the recruiting games to get kids to come to your school, you got to re-recruit the whole freaking team over again every year. And at some point, I think there's going to be some coaches who are like, it's not worth my time, man. If I can make the same money and just coach basketball and I don't have to freaking recruit, better job.
Well, yeah. And by the way, perks are college. Not that there's anything wrong with a college basketball head coaching job, but the perks are better in the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, it is as first class as it gets. I mean, I'm obviously not a coach, okay, but if you gave me if I was a real good coach, and you said, well, you got your choice between coaching college and any sport, college football, or the NFL, let's go NFL. I might be more media scrutiny, but who gives a shit? That's where it is. It's still the NFL. It's still the ultimate.
I'm not sure on that one. I think college football coaches it's a pretty interesting lot. The amount of power they have.
Yeah, that's true.
And then once you're established, I mean, Dabo Swinney would have to F up pretty badly to be on a hot seat at Clemson. Like it would take 5 years for him to be on the hot seat. Same for Saban, and even Saban. Well, what does he got? He wins 6 games 4 years in a row, and they're going to push him out. I'm not even sure they're going to do that. There are some college jobs. There are a lot of college jobs, football, that are great jobs, and you're not. I don't think you're ever going to get to the point in college football where 30% of your roster has to be re-recruited. You're going to lose guys, and I think the transfer portal is going to hit college football too. But it might be like 10 guys a year out of your 85. It's not. I mean, some of these college coaches are waking up and they're like, "Wait, I lost 8 guys out of my 13. I lost 9 guys out of my 13. This is absurd."
But the other side of it is this: you can only win the Super Bowl in the NFL, and that's still the ultimate achievement in the sport of football is winning the Super Bowl. National championship's great, but it's not the Super Bowl.
So you think no matter what Saban does, he's always got that NFL albatross around his neck?
Well, he didn't win in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's not to take away. But to me, it's a lot in Alabama. And look, obviously the guy's a great coach, phenomenal coach, but he's still in a unique situation in Alabama where he basically just takes an order form. He doesn't have to recruit. He probably turns down more good players than anybody in the country. It's like, you're not going to play here. And at his age now, I don't think it'll happen. But I thought 3 or 4 years ago, I thought there was a possibility that if an NFL team came to him, he might say, "Okay, I got to give it another shot."
Too old now.
No, I think now he's closing. He's my age, so.
And it's such a machine at Bama.
Yeah.
Everything's in place. I'll ask the audience, if you say $6 million a year? I know that Dabo Swinney and Saban make more than that, but $6 million a year. What's better for a coach who's like 55 years old? College football or the NFL? So we'll let people answer. The other thing I wanted to throw out there about Indiana, if you had 7 years and $70 million for Brad Stevens, why didn't you shop that package around for Chris Beard, Jay Wright, Mark Few, Scott Drew? Why not go after the top 5 guys in the country and offer them the same package?
They continuously keep on. Since Kelvin Sampson, they haven't even hit a single on their coach. Forget a home run. I don't know. I'm not there, so I can't really say. But in some ways, there's some similarities, it seems, between Indiana and UNLV. Indiana fans are really stuck living in the past. And maybe that's part of the problem for them, is that the expectations are way too high.
Right.
And that they need to be tempered a little bit, at least for the time being. They're not even the best program in the state. Because Purdue's a better program. And that must rankle Indiana fans to no end, but Purdue is clearly a better program.
It's been more consistent getting to the tournament.
And they're going to be loaded again next year.
Although
I
will say
Purdue's going to be really good.
I will say Indiana, Mike Woodson's done a pretty good job so far, working the transfer market and making sure that he got his best player back. So if he can coach at the collegiate level, I think he's actually going to do a pretty good job. But I think Mike Woodson is going to do a pretty good job is different than Jay Wright's the Indiana coach, or Scott Drew's the Indiana coach, or Mark Few is the Indiana coach. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They get Mark Few for 7 years and $70 million. Chet Holmgren's going. He's playing at Indiana. The top 10 kid aside from him, he's playing at Indiana.
Yep.
They're going to be a success. So I don't know. Brad Stevens is awesome, but if the package is there, go out and get one of the top 5 guys in college basketball.
And let's just say, and I think this is fair, I don't think the fan base is real excited about Woodson.
No, not right now. But like I said, I think he's got
a heck of a challenge in front of him.
Yeah.
because
Well,
there's
that
a
is-
lot of
that is-
programs that are better than Indiana, and it's not going to be easy to make up the ground. I mean, they're just behind a bunch of teams in that conference right now.
Yeah, Dave just mentioned that, John. Indiana fans stuck in the past. We're living in the past. Set expectations, exceptions. Too high. Sounds familiar. Yep.
Yeah, it can happen even in the Big Ten.
On that NFL versus college football question, making $6 million a year. What's better, NFL or college football? Gil the Thrill said NFL is much better. You don't have to deal with the eligibility portion of the sport, and you can just focus on football.
And you're coaching for the ultimate prize. And you're surrounded by the best players, the professionals. I mean, pros.
See, I think this is a good answer. I think college football is better, according to Ricky, because you have unlimited power, no GM. You are the man. The other thing, when you're in one of these cities, the local media, you don't have to deal with anything.
No,
you are the coach of the Jets, and you're making $6 million a year. These guys are gonna, and women are gonna ride your ass. You're Dabo Sweeney, or it's not even that. You can go down to the 30th best program in the country.
Oh,
you
sure.
Think in your local podunk city, the media is going to give you any sort of trouble?
No,
it's a cakewalk.
That's the beauty of college, I guess.
Yeah,
is you get more of a free ride. There's a few exceptions, Texas being one of them. But,
Texas,
but yeah, by and large, the honeymoon period certainly lasts a lot longer, for the most part.
Damn, Aaron's getting all deep on us here. College coaches also enjoy keeping their thumb on and holding power over 20-year-olds. Well, it is easier. It is easier to coach the players.
Oh yeah, in college, if you're the college head coach, unless there's cameras rolling at practice, as we've seen with some, you can be iron fisted. However, with transfer rules changing, that might not be what it was.
Yeah.
Because now prospect A can say, you know what, the hell with this, I'm leaving. And into the portal they go, and they go right to someplace else. So things have changed a bit.
Yeah, I think the thing that could really suck for college football coaches, and it's already happening, is moving forward. I think most coaches will be hard pressed to keep a backup quarterback around for a year or two. Yeah. You try to layer your classes with quarterbacks, good luck, because there's always going to be some other school, just down the level in Power 5 or Group of 5 that's going to be like, yeah, come over here, man. You can be a 3-year starter. You're not even playing there. You're buried. Let's go.
It's an easy sell.
It's a glamour position. It can turn around a whole program. Look at
Northwestern. That's why the kid you mentioned from Las Vegas is at Gonzaga. He's going to get offers.
Oh, Paris Strother. Julian Strother?
Yeah.
People are going to call on him. Willie's real tight with the family, and Willie said as of last week that, they were solid, that they were buying it. They're buying what he was selling, but at some point.
But what happens in November if he discovers he's only going to be playing 8 to 10 minutes a game?
Yep. Hell, it could happen. The transfer portal is still humming. There's still players left and right. If Mark Few decides to go get another wing guy who's 6'4" to 6'8",
Oh yeah, listen.
There's not going to play. Then he's got to start thinking about it.
And for guys who are staying at their programs right now, their minutes might be changing on a regular basis. UNLV picks up another good kid from Lamar who's drawn some good reviews. These guys that are coming in are going to play, so that means somebody else's minutes are going to disappear, and those players might look at the situation and say, "I got to go someplace else," which is okay. That's part of the game.
I just want to punch up a tweet here. What do you think how should college kids look at Brad Stevens getting offered $70 million?
What do you mean?
From, we don't have the name, image, likeness thing yet. And, kids are fighting for, some sort of cut of this whole thing. What are they supposed to think when a guy gets, he's going to get a $70 million deal?
It certainly makes the NIL thing look more important to them, as it should. I don't have any problem with that. It's coming, okay? Players deserve to own their own name, image, and likeness, which is what NIL stands for. I've always felt that way, so my opinion certainly hasn't changed. Ed O'Bannon set the bar as far as that goes. He's the one who started changing the landscape, and while Ed might never reap the rewards, he's basically going to be the Kurt Flood of college basketball, where he changes it for everybody else.
This is we'll say right now, a former Rutgers player, because he's in limbo. May come back, may go to the pros, may go somewhere else. But he said, Indiana offering $70 million to coach, and I can't sell a T-shirt. And I can tell you, on that thread, it was a bunch of knuckleheads who were like, well, give up the free school, and just shitting on him.
Oh, that's these people are and these are the ones you can have that opinion about, but don't be stupid about it. Because this goes all the way back to Greg Anthony at UNLV.
Yep.
And Greg, and interestingly enough, T-shirts. Greg started a T-shirt company, and all the players are going to benefit by it, by the way. And the NCAA said, no, you can't do that because it's a violation of your scholarship. So Greg said, okay, I'll give up the scholarship. I'll pay to go to school. And they wouldn't let him do that either. That's gonna change. Okay, that's what name, image, and likeness is all about. Players have a right to cash in on themselves. I don't think there's a rational argument to it. I've never seen a rational argument to it. Well, you're getting a college education for free. Okay. I'll pay my own way and run my business instead. And I'll make more. I'll make more than that scholarship's worth. Way more. Because I can tell you right now, if Geo Baker, well, go back to Greg, how much money would they have made on those T-shirts? UNLV was the most popular program in the country.
Yep. As long as
they made a fortune.
Yeah, as long as they had stayed away from anything specific to UNLV.
Right.
If he came up with some other kind of branding for himself,
yep,
and the rest of the guys, they would have made a killing.
Yep.
But that's the thing.
The NCAA wouldn't let him do it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, the NCAA knows that, so they knew they were going to make a killing.
I think it sucks that a young, smart guy who's got entrepreneurial abilities, which it sounds like Geo Baker might have, and certainly Greg did. I mean, Greg's. Well, I didn't know Greg. It's not like we were best friends or anything, but we knew each other, and he's one of the smartest guys I've ever been around. I mean, Greg's he's a sharp guy, and there's lots of guys like that.
Of course. Here's the thing: you should be proud of the fact that they have drive and they want to do other things.
Yeah,
I think it's great. This, like I said, this guy Geo Baker was at Rutgers for whatever it is now, 4 years. I'm proud of what the guy's done. He's spoken up. He's been part of the effort on the NIL thing, trying to sit down with Emmert. That's what you want your student athletes to be like. Smart dudes, ready to be a pro in some field, whether it's basketball or something else.
And at the very least,
not a bad thing.
At the very least, a player on an athletic scholarship, a basketball or football scholarship, should have the same rights as somebody on a science scholarship.
Yeah.
Which they don't.
Yep.
I mean, guy who's there on a science scholarship, he can go get a job while he's in school, keep his scholarship, and earn money. And I'm talking in his field, not flipping burgers at McDonald's. I'm talking a real job. He didn't lose his scholarship. It's a completely biased thing. And quite frankly, and I do believe this is the case, if you want to argue it, I have always felt it was a racist policy, and I still do.
Well, I agree with that. I think looking down the road that you're going to, or looking back 15 or 20 years from now, you're going to look at it and go, if these college sports overlords had been a little bit flexible and a little forward thinking, then they could have made everyone happy, could have worked something out. But instead, they're going to kill the golden goose. And what's going to happen is there are going to be enterprising folks who will start semi-pro leagues, whatever, minor league, that will siphon off, a good 15 or 20% of college basketball prospects, and they'll be a minor league for football, and folks can make money off it. So they're gonna lop off the top whatever 10 or 15% because college football is stuck in their ways, and they think people are stupid and the kids are stupid, and they're going to keep settling for this bull crap. They're going to get stuck to them here.
Well, because they have settled it for so long. But that's going to change. Kids are smarter now; they're more savvy.
Yep.
You can't pull the wool over their eyes as easily as you used to, and that's part of the. There's downsides to social media. That's one of the upsides.
Yeah, I didn't get to read this. There was a story on this today, was there not? Somewhere I saw something about a Super League. Fill me in. I've had people tell me that The Rock and his purchase of the XFL that could be the grand plan. Because honestly, why would you? Who cares about the branding of the XFL? But what if they could siphon off, a decent percentage of 18, 19, 20-year-olds, give a home to kids, especially who don't want to go to school, pay them. You'd get TV deals. I'm sure you'd have plenty of advertisers. You could probably, you know what? Frankly, you don't even need a TV deal anymore. I mean, I think that's where the bigger money comes from, but you could probably get some sort of broadcast internet deal and get similar money. And that's probably where it's going.
Yeah, and all the other benefits.
The Trevor Lawrence of the world. Maybe he plays college football, or maybe he goes and plays 1 year, 2 years in a semi-pro league, minor league, gets good cash. Now there's a risk. There is a risk. You got to obviously you're gonna have to get insurance on yourself, but
that would probably be part of the package that's offered. I'll put that in the contract. It's like, okay, you get insurance too. And football is, you're forced to stay 3 years. At least, baseball, at least you can sign out of high school in baseball.
I don't know a whole lot about the CFL. Why has the CFL never just gone, you know what? Fuck you guys. We're taking the American prospects when they're 18 and 19.
I don't think they got the money.
Yeah. And they're also running a league that's, where you've got 26, 27, 28-year-olds who are playing. Right. So,
and they'd also have to change the game. They would have to have the same dimensions of the field as the National Football League, and they'd have to go to four downs instead of 3 downs. They, kind of change the face of the league. I don't know that would work. I think the CFL is what it is. It survives. It doesn't really flourish. Okay, it's not a real. I wouldn't call it a real success story. It used to be, but the Argonauts, for instance, they basically get no attention at all in Toronto because the Blue Jays are there, the Raptors are there, the Maple Leafs are there, and it's like the Argonauts they're like a double-A team. Like they basically would be, if you were comparing them to Las Vegas, they would be the Wranglers with both the Silver Knights and Golden Knights in action. That's what the Argonauts are. Nobody gives a shit about the Alouettes. I think the Western teams do a little bit better because it's basically what they've got out there.
Right.
There's not a whole lot in Regina or Saskatoon. So they do a little bit better, but it's basically for people like myself who think we can beat the
right.
sport.
Right.
And a handful of other people. The attendance wasn't good. It was the easiest call in the world was to cancel their season last year. It's like, I knew that was going to happen right away. It's like, oh yeah, they're definitely not going to play because there was some talk. Well, is there going to be at least some CFL? And it's like, not a chance. And I don't even know what's going to happen this summer. I haven't paid much attention to it.
So unrelated to that, Dave, I don't know if you and I ever talked about, what do you think of baseball pulling the All-Star game out of Georgia?
Well, I never read the bill, so I can't comment on that. I'm not going by what people put on social media because they didn't read the bill. They just have it. They just fire off opinions. So I can't comment on the bill because I really don't know all the particulars of it. What I do know is it's corporate America is now corporate woke America. And they're going to do woke stuff, whether you like it or not. That's the reality of things. So you can agree or disagree with the bill, but what is happening is completely predictable.
Right. Profiting off of being woke.
Well, I think it was, and again, I don't know the particulars of the bill.
Yeah.
Just the basics. But it was really short-sighted on the part of the lawmakers down there from a fiscal standpoint for the state, because I don't know how they wouldn't realize going in that this is going to cost them money.
Right.
But the flip side of it is they're politicians and they really don't give a rat's ass about anybody. They're politicians, and that goes for both parties. I'm not picking on one party over the other. They don't give a fuck about you, okay?
They're
it's
trying.
as simple as that. They're going to do what they need to do to keep their jobs.
Yep.
And in the state of Georgia, I would think in many local communities and things like that, this is probably a popular law.
Right.
So they'll get reelected. And whether it's damaging to the state, they don't care about that. And again, I'm not picking on Republicans because it's the same on the other side as well.
No.
Okay, politicians, 90%, I'll say 90% of politicians are in it for themselves, and that's it. There's 10% that don't fit that mold at all, and they really are total public servants, and you got to love those people, whether you agree with their politics or not, because they're really sincere. The rest of them, my view is that they are looking out for number one, and number two is what we refer to as number two in terms of biological functions.
Yeah, that's us. I was thinking of it today. I was driving back from LA to Vegas.
Oh, I didn't know you were in LA.
And I hadn't made the drive in a while. And I'm driving Barstow and Baker, right?
Lovely part of California.
And you're trying to get through there as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Yep.
And there were a lot of trucks on the road, so yay. American commerce is healthy. There were a shit ton of trucks, but what that means with 2 lanes is, you're playing the game the whole time of a truck pulling out, trying to pass into the left lane. And I was just grumbling the whole time. I'm like, how can any part of this road still be 2 lanes on each side?
I know it.
And then we just talked about Georgia, right? California has had mostly Democratic senators. It votes heavily Democrat, right? How the fuck has there not been federal money to make that goddamn 3 lanes at a minimum for most of the journey between Vegas and Southern California? How is that even possible? But now there may be money for 2 train projects. That is unbelievable. And it goes back to your point. In the end, it's all about self-preservation and making sure that you can serve office for 35 goddamn years.
Right. Yep.
Unreal. I'm like, this is nuts that this road still sucks.
And it's like, there's no argument to that. All logic, all of it, 100% logic says that
I've lived here.
The road should have been expanded to 3 lanes to 4 lanes 20 years ago.
I've lived here since 96. I mean, we're 25 years in.
Yep.
Fix the road. And it's not like it's just idiots, and we're not idiots, but it's not just like tourists going back and forth.
No,
like I just said, we've got trucks all over the road.
Yeah,
it's American system. Improve the road.
It's a complete pain in the ass. That's why my old standard was I'll drive at night.
Fuck this lady.
I used to drive at night because at least the trucks mostly weren't on the road, and you could just kind of fly. God,
it's stupid. Hey, Gill the Thrill, though, they're going to expand it on our side. Well, that's fine. I mean, because once you start, once you get past Baker, it at some point it goes to 3 lanes, and then it's good. But between Baker and Barstow is it's just so stupid. Almost got me a ticket today. That stupid road. Almost got me a ticket. I had a CHP ride up on me. Check me out.
Oh,
Might have been going a little fast. Might have been a little aggressive. Yep. Well, I mean, this is another one. When I'm driving around Vegas now, and I'm like, we had a pandemic for 15 months. Things were slower for 13 months. How are most of the road projects not done, Dave?
I don't know. It's very I mean, it was a perfect time to get all these things done, and they didn't do it. Where I am, as usual, they've had basically the same piece of road torn up for 5 years out here.
Yep.
I'm not exaggerating. They're never going to fix it.
Yeah. I did not stop off at the thermometer. Was the thermometer at Baker working? You know what's funny is I didn't look at the thermometer because that was exactly the moment when the CHP cop was eyeing me up and down for like a mile, riding right next to me, and I just kept putting a thumbs up. I'm like, yeah, good job, buddy. Good job.
Big disappointment too.
I'm a big fan of law enforcement.
The big boy isn't.
I didn't see the thermometer.
The big boy in Baker isn't open anymore.
Is that right?
Yeah, it closed a few years ago. That was disappointing. That was always a nice stop. I mean, pretty good burgers there.
Poor Baker.
They do have the Mad. You want to talk about a busy place? That Mad Greek.
Yeah.
Oh, that place. I mean, that place is always packed.
Huh. Carvelli says, try to challenge for Cofield, break your record, try to get 3 tickets in a day. I think I'm going to stay away from that one. 2's my limit. And I did not stop at the Del Taco. I wanted to. Oh, no. Let's not do this. Dave, did we bring it up? Let's not have Mount Koken. Trying to remember the story. Was it Koken or Mitch that got a BS
I got one
in a school zone?
I got one. Yeah, I was going like 18. The guy.
It was so ridiculous. Yeah. I think you were doing 21 and a 15.
No, it was less than that. It was like 18.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep. Well, fortunately, I know a lot of people. So
I'm so pissed off.
So let's just say I
pulled some strings.
It never appeared on my record. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Because that would have inflated the insurance.
Yep. Well, that's what happened. Good radio stories, man. Especially if one of us gets really mad. No, it probably was then, Dave. Because
I think it's
you and I were together from like 2007 to 11. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think yeah. Yeah. So it was in that window.
Yeah, I know, and it still never showed on the record because I got stopped 2 years ago. I apparently had never gotten or had somehow neglected my registration renewal, and I got pulled over for having expired plates.
Right.
And I said to the cop, "Jesus, I didn't even know it had expired. I didn't know." And he said, "Well, you haven't gotten it." He said, "Your last ticket was in 1997, or no, something like that." Yeah, it was, I think, in 1997.
Yeah.
So he said, "Well, just get it, get it taken care of." And the interesting thing was, I ran into him in a 7-Eleven.
Oh, really?
About a week later, and I said thanks, because I actually did thank him, because it's like if I had gotten into an accident with expired tags, that would have been a problem.
Yeah.
And by that time, I'd gotten the thing fixed, and he was a pretty cool guy, a nice guy.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Josh, I believe you, but somehow I don't believe you. Hole in the Wall Mexican joint in Baker has fantastic tuna steak ceviche. Is that right? Is that right? Okay.
I suppose it's possible.
Sure. Nothing
like, listen, there was some holes in the wall in this town that had some great food.
Yeah.
Going back many years. We've talked about a few of them, and it's like, okay, it's possible.
That's funny. Do they pull anyone over? Which, by the way, I'll knock on wood. I have to get my tag. I updated them, but they're coming in the mail. But do they pull anyone over for expired tags? Because I swear to God,
if they notice,
I guess. But I swear to God, I see 1 or 2 cars every day without a plate. Which Dave, I don't know
how that works.
I have Dave, I have no idea. I don't know what it's like where you come from in Providence. I know in New Jersey, like I wouldn't have driven my car around the fucking corner without a plague. I remember having to move a car, some extra car that we had or something, and like moving it like 2 miles, and I was like, oh my God, we can't do this. And some piece of shit was just racing by me last week on the 95. I'm like, what? No plate. I'm like, what is going on here?
I don't know. I've never been able to figure that out. New England and the East Coast is a lot different. For instance, unless things have changed in Connecticut, don't pass on the right on the Connecticut Turnpike.
Yeah, they'll get you.
They will nail you.
No, it is dangerous. As I was blowing by 18-wheelers today, I was like, this is kind of dangerous. Like, not on the right.
Out here, passing on the right is like, go ahead, do whatever you want.
It's a Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, out here, the idea is to move to the far right so you can go as fast as possible.
Dude, I gotta tell you, the other thing driving, I always forget because I'm not there all the time. The 101 in California is one of the more amazing roads I've ever been on. It is like the most windy, 6 lanes on each side, but oftentimes it's like stop and go 25 miles an hour. And because you're going, further and further into the valley and then eventually to, Thousand Oaks and like Calabasas, the cars on that road are amazing. Amazing. And they drive like fucking animals. There were so many cars that went by me that were $80,000, $100,000, $120,000 cars just tailgating, just pieces of shit in front of them. Like, you're going to wreck your car because you're trying to get there 7 minutes. It's that is a racetrack, and I drive aggressive. But today I was driving. I'm like, I got to slow down. These people are nuts.
Why do they still have the fruit stop?
I don't know. They moved it. They moved it, right?
Well, I haven't driven there in 2 years. So
they moved it right after Prim. There's a giant CHP station when you start going up the hill from Prim. That's where the fruit stand is now. That's where the fruit stop is.
Oh, okay.
Same shit though.
Why is it still there?
You pull up and they're like, they look in. They're like, okay, keep going. I have no idea. I don't know. John Carvelli. I drove on the 101 once when I was 25. I'm never doing that again. The 110s a night. Well, you know what? I'll save the road talk. For tomorrow. Yeah, Schumann says they park cars on the 101. Traffic is that bad, but the worst if the 101 is the 101 and 405 in Sherman Oaks. Yep, I was there today. We got off in Sherman Oaks to go have some breakfast, and actually every time we pass the 405 on the 101, my girlfriend's like, we just got to get past. As soon as we get past that, we're okay. It's like it is the worst. I don't know how people do it.
I've always found Riverside to be a complete pain in the ass.
Oh, is that the 215 through Riverside?
Yeah.
Yep. It's the worst. So
another area where they've had the same road construction basically for 25 years.
God damn it. We were gonna bypass, and I'm like, any chance that I don't have to go through that, I'm like, please. Because I know they're still working on the road.
Yep.
It's nuts.
And it's always the same section.
Yep.
It's like, how does this not? And and the thing is, we're spoiled because your state, Jersey, phenomenal.
That's pretty good.
They work at night.
Yeah.
Duh. Yep. They work at night. That's when they do the road repairs at night. Not here. Not in Las Vegas. No. Because that would make it makes more sense to have them out there in 100-degree heat than in a more comfortable 70 degrees when there's less traffic at night. Yep. I mean, how fucking dumb can you get? But this is, our politicians at work.
Yeah. The ranting and raving on the roads in Vegas, and we actually are lucky here. It's not not great, but as compared to some,
it could be a lot better though.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
To me, someone wants to get elected mayor in the next race. That's their whole platform should be. My job as mayor is going to be to fix the roads and get them done in workmanlike fashion. And we're starting with Spring Mountain, okay? Which is a joke. Spring Mountain is a joke. It's horrible.
You're saying Spring Mountain what, going west from the 15? Or Spring Mountain going east?
Well, the west, Spring Mountain's only on the west side. Yeah. But it's just awful. How can it be just 2 lanes? That's a main street. Fix it.
Look. I love the complaints coming in. What is this? 95 and Horizon. Both ways is a shit show anymore. Yep. I used to have to drive out there. Yep.
At least where I came from, everybody knew Public Works was completely corrupt. Okay.
Crooked, yeah.
Just
Right.
utterly corrupt. So it's like, well, this is the way it's going to be. And it's not changing because that's Providence. But I guess it's the same everywhere. Because otherwise, these roads would be fixed.
Yeah.
My apologies to anybody who's in that department, but you guys are the ones with the cones on the road. You're blocking off traffic, and you never do the fucking work. And then you go back and do it again.
I would say once every 2 weeks on the show, one of us starts getting really worked up about the 215 to 15 going north in front of Mandalay Bay, that weird merge.
Yep.
Before Tropicana. And I was actually driving it the other day, and I was like, someone actually did design that. I'm like,
yeah,
they are a person. We crush them every time we talk about it. Like they're the dumbest person ever. Like someone came up with that. I almost feel bad.
How did it ever get approved?
I don't know. It's one of the dumbest designs ever.
Horrible.
Yep.
And believe me, I have no expertise in that area. I could have done a better job.
Oh my God. So this is still all fucked up. Fort Apache between Blue Diamond and Trop. That's a long stretch too. They still haven't finished that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark says, no, they are dumb. 20 feet to merge. Get out of here. It is. The other day I was kind of not paying attention. I'm like, oh shit, I got to get over. It's quick.
What is this? Do I know the traffic court judge on TV from Providence? I haven't lived there for 40 years, so no.
Come on, Dave. Have some Providence pride. What are you doing? You know what? I'm not down near Cactus. So I know they did a lot of work on it. We drove by it today. We're like, this is. You know what? I haven't gone that far south on the 15. Going out of town, I had no idea they were building they built all these different 3-story apartment buildings. When you're going south and you look to the left, you used to be able to see the M. Not anymore, man. They are building so much, down the south part of town. It's crazy.
Oh, good.
So can I show you one? I want to show you one more picture. One more story real quick, because I kind of went on a tangent with the roads about the moron Democrats who run, much of the state in California not being able to get federal funding to fix the goddamn 15. I'm sorry. This one, he's good for a laugh, and he'll be good for probably a lot more in the future. You saw how mad, I asked you about baseball because you saw how mad people got at Coca-Cola and Delta, right? Because Coke and Delta were both like, yeah, the voting limitations, this is not cool. We're angry. So, of course, our guy DJT called for a boycott of Coke. Well, the only problem is he's not actually boycotting it in his own company. So, headline here is Trump wants you to boycott Coke. His properties are still serving it. So, they went around to 6 or 8 different Trump properties. And then I guess in this picture recently, I think that's a Diet Coke in the corner there. So, whatever. It never fails.
No.
It's a boycott, but I don't have the discipline to actually drink Pepsi or something else. So you stop using it, you stop drinking it. I'm going to keep drinking it.
Boycotts are so stupid. They never work.
There must be something that's worked. No? Some kind of product that's
like what?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something. I don't know. I boycott actors and actresses. I boycott certain products. I have no power.
I don't boycott anything. It's like, I think, Michael Jackson obviously was a pretty creepy guy.
Yeah.
But I still listen to his music because I like it.
Yeah. There's a new boycott every day. Dave's like, boycotts don't work.
Well, they don't.
Well, was this a boycott or it was kind of a? That's a. If businesses across the country say we're not going to carry your product, that's a little different than a consumer boycott.
I I have no idea. I don't know whether My Pillows is doing well or not.
They
well.
pulled it out of everything. It's out of Costco. It's out of like Bed Bath and Beyond.
He's still on. He's still got his infomercials, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Does he?
Yeah, I still see commercials.
Well, there you go. Free my the station. Is that right? Aaron, is that right? They're giving away at station casinos? That's right. It's a giveaway. That's awesome.
Are the pillows any good, by the way?
I've actually heard they're terrible.
Oh, okay.
I think we got one, and I don't know. The SO didn't like them, so I am not a pillow purchaser. I would sleep on the same pillow. Yes, it's disgusting. I would sleep on the same pillow for 25 years. I don't care. I am an animal.
I bought new pillows about 6 months ago.
Okay. AJ says they're good pillows. All right. Or is AJ saying that Stations is giving away the pillows? Red Rock next Saturday. Okay. Well, AJ says it's fantastic. What'd you buy, Dave?
I forget what they are, but they're real good. Hotel quality.
Okay.
They cost plenty.
How much?
I don't remember, but it's like, well, they're the most expensive ones. I'll go for those. And I did. And it was worth the investment because they're real nice and fluffy and comfortable.
Yeah, my next pricey pillow will come down when that 15 is 3 lanes between Barstow and Baker. So it's going to be a while.
I went the whole hog as far as new mattress, new pillows.
Nice.
Yep. And both have worked out well. The mattress is just great. Love it.
What kind of mattress? A regular or memory foam?
Oh no, it's memory. And it's got the remote control so I can adjust it to wherever I like.
Really?
It's a real nice mattress. Cat likes it too. So of course he liked the old one. He liked the old one too. I don't,
Yeah. Nothing
But
against
the funny thing is,
Yeah,
it is kind of funny because this mattress is higher than the other one, and his first few leaps onto the bed were misfires.
Came up short?
Yep.
Too high?
Yep.
That's kind of funny to see as they slam into the side of it and then scratch to try to.
Yep. He figured it out though.
Yeah, people love the My Pillow. All right, Guild the Thrill said I got My Pillow. Great pillow. Owner's out there, but product is good. Okay.
There you go.
I was going to say nothing against you, Dave, but when you get to an advanced age and you got some money, I mean, you may as well buy a freaking nice bed, right? What do you say?
Hell yeah.
At that point?
Yeah. No, I buy nice everything. What else am I going to do with it? Other than give a significant piece to the government, which I did today.
Yeah. Oof. Buy more pillows. Buy more mattresses. Fuck the government.
Well, that's not deductible. By the way, that was the interesting thing.
There's no work deduction, like midday.
I tell you, my deductions for 2020 are the least they've been in an eon.
Yeah,
I didn't go anyplace. I couldn't write anything off.
I know. Sucks. They got us again.
Well, yeah. I just wish I had more. I don't mind paying the money. I just wish I had more say as to where it was going. I'd like it to be to road repair.
Yes. We just ranted about it. So give it to my cause.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap it. Dave, I appreciate you filling in on late notice because just so folks know who are tuning in to see Adam and JVT tonight. JVT worked all day, so we gave him the night off. And then Adam Hill is, I think, in Southern California right now. So we'll be back tomorrow with Frickin' Frack with Allie and Alex. So I'll probably bitch more about Southern California, although I will give props to Southern California on some fronts. So, Dave, I appreciate it. And we'll, Dave, stay on here too. Not that you disappear after we go off, but yeah, there you go. Thanks for joining, Dave. All right, guys, I appreciate it. We'll see.